access the church. At this time, residents of La Plaza's garden are not permitted beyond this point.
Hey! Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave. Please.
You. I don't know who you are. But if you thought it wise to bring a cultist into the heart of Order territory, you are deeply foolish. I have not the slightest theory as to how you bypassed our guards. But if it was through violence, be assured, it will be returned exponentially.
Exactly. Though, to be honest, I was thinking of filleting you, but it didn't seem worth getting Artificer all over me.
I shall be the judge of her trustworthiness myself. There is a cultist-centric issue the Order needs resolved. I suspect you are capable of doing such. If you are not, I cannot trust you, and certainly cannot allow you to see Ruth.
If these cultists are suffering the same affliction of being traitorous curs as the others seem to be, then I look forward to killing them.
My task is this. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there.
Well, then it seems today is your lucky day. The Dawn and Newton have been dealt with. By us. Care to hear all the bloody particulars? Come on, Commander. You never let me talk about Viscera.
You saw a problem and followed your own methods to solve it. I can admire that. Here's something for your trouble. If you removed Newton's unsightly blemish, I believe you may be trustworthy. I have reasoned something predicted has come to pass. One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. I hope your zeal is properly placed. The Protectorate soldiers guarding the crash site are unlikely to let you close, unless something else is made to arrest their attention. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
Your actions are in accordance with the plan.
The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits to non-essential Order personnel.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Lo and behold, a foe.
I must say, I have many reservations about this. The Protectorate has always provided for us. For what reason would we forsake such a stable and safe way of life?
Because, friend, with the Protectorate, you're only surviving. With Antes, you'll be thriving.
So your superiors order you to thrive?
No.
It's not a totally baseless idea.
2 days, 3 at
That
most.
should totally
and
be
they'll
annihilated, just like all capitalist propaganda.
Bits bonus.
Praise the matriarch!
You've returned. I take it return again when you stay true, outsider.
Hostile in proximity.
have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might, end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. Inquire away. I may even respond. Another crack like that, and you might just find out. Our department employed a variety of methods to obviate hindrances and threats to the Order's efforts. We were considered wardens of the grand plan, helping correct it when needed. Sometimes with purpose. Don't you as well? Do you draw some moral distinction between avenging harm and nipping it in the bud beforehand? Between covert and overt means? When all is said and done, are those in your ledger any less dead than mine? That so? Hadn't thought you'd felt that way. Didn't take you for a pacifist. Just a mite less homicidal. All of us are part of the plan. We follow the path intended for us by the architect. We should, at least. Now and then, some push back against their path, but it never ends well. Corrections can take time, even delay in the solving of the equation. That's where we came in, to get things back on track in the timeliest of manners. Some were proprietary. Often they involved forms of subtle persuasion, others more overt influence. Now and again, more direct means were required. May the plan favor us against long odds.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? The purveyor of convictions? Not possible. She's too public. I look forward to the... Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. I must admit I first had doubts, due to your association with a cultist. But yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Did you know around 1,000 species of bacteria live on human skin? A fascinating, if not relevant, bit of trivia. Wouldn't you agree? I did indeed, but always nice to make the acquaintance of a fellow philomath. At any rate, I am quite conscious, merely waiting. I have no idea. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. Oh no. You know what they say about having too many totalizers on the same sum? Precisely. Oh my goodness, it's refreshing to converse with someone so like-minded. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Never. That would be a serious offense and an effrontery to the principles of the Order, especially for a seer. I vastly prefer the systole and diastoles of competitive debate anyway. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. All confidential, I'm afraid. Many are still under peer review, but I can assure you, their value is commensurate with, why, the discovery of gravity, or has the potential to be. How unexpected. Almost as if there's a universal plan at work in the universe. Please return when you've found all four. I will be here. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is rather well entrenched at present, and nothing short of an all-out siege is likely to dislodge them. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with the presiding bishop on the matter. She can tell you more. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly received and accepted. Where he goes from here or what he does now is up to him. I expect we won't hear from him anytime soon. On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less contentious. Of course I do. That is precisely why my energy is better channeled toward the future, to ensure such tragic events never happen again. Landon Wiley was afflicted by that which strickens all scholars, the desire to effect change, to advance the plan at any cost. Were his methods wrong? Unequivocally. Should he have come to me with his concerns? Undeniably. But was his conclusion categorically sound? That remains debatable. By the architect, no. The Order needs less change, not more. I agree we need to return to our fundamentals, but I'm quite sure my definition of that differs from Wiley's and his cohorts. But let's move on to other topics, please. All this fractious talk is giving me a... Welcome back, Agent. In what manner can I assist you? How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst. Irritation, paranoia, increased desire to gamble. Oddly enough, all manageable conditions, of course. We are increasingly operating with fewer resources, however, and most regrettably, we've had to eject more and more subjects from the experiment in order to continue it. In a plan-perfected universe, we would have ample time to wean participants off perspective before sending them out of the garden. But, alas, we do not live in that universe. Yet. Fortunately, your discomfort is not a determining factor in the continuation of the program. Primarily, though not exclusively, because you don't live here, at any rate. I have no interest in debating the ethics of this experiment with a layperson. No offense.
is with the anomalous behavior?
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday. If it isn't my favorite collaborator. I thought I said we shouldn't be seen together. No need to wait for permission.
I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky. Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow... I knew you had a knowledgeable look about you. That would be... There's a panel just... Okay?
Oh, please.
And so there was light. My sincerest thanks. I will be sure to extol your virtues to the laureates the next time we speak. And here, a little treat for your effort.
Your contributions are much appreciated.
A second makeup exam will not be offered. so I hope you studied this time, Briar. You may begin now.
Right. No pressure. Shh. If I'm caught talking during this makeup exam, what does it matter? Can't mark the occipital from the parietal with these voided questions. And is there something wrong with the air recyclers? It's getting hard to breathe. My vision's gone a bit fuzzy, but the exam's right here on the monitor. Have a look. You asked! I'm already perspiring beyond acceptable odor levels. Thank you. I'm sure I'd recover my wits enough to tackle the rest of the test if you can just help me make sense of the first question. Just be discreet, won't you? My vision's gone a bit fuzzy, but the exam's right here on the monitor. Have a look. I'm sure I'd recover my wits enough to tackle the rest of the test if you can just help.
Hello, layperson.
No, it's fine.
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. A little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication, and we believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance. Only probability. May the...
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Basar, 3rd Presiding Bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, Supreme Calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. My sensory deprivation chamber. I spend the majority of my days closed inside the silence, dulling myself against the tedious excesses of the body and mind. Want no longer factors into my decisions, but I can see how that might confuse one of such spirited bearing. I am using the chamber to prepare for a test of significant endurance. I think it best to leave the discussion there for now. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. If your actions were so easily imitable, then we would not be speaking right now. Accept the credit. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility? Levin's methodology is usually faultless. And it would be a pity to scrap so much fine preparatory work. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with Presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Welcome back, Agent. Is there some evaluation I can do for you? Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It saddens me to see the garden so Oh, the Laureate Council simply... No. In reality, I was recommended for... Thank you for that. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about... Likely not. May you...
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Your actions are in accordance with the plan.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish. I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of it's not nefarious. It's a waste of time. But fine, you've made your point. Laplace's garden was built as a scholar's utopia, with this drug perspective as its regulating reagent. This was supposedly to aid us in deciphering the equation. One would think that an organization at active war would have more pressing responsibilities than a scholar's paradise. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm. Capable of... Great. I was just thinking. I have nothing but... If I had to dig, I generally prefer...
Your efficiency has improved my efficiency.
So many dead. Places falling apart.
The Protectorate have only been told a watered-down
Can't believe
I do recall the Order warning about something
the Order
like
was
that
right?
happening.
How?
Albeit somewhat
How do they know?
indirectly.
I can hardly believe I'm still standing. I can hardly believe I'm still standing. The Order was right? How?
No lectures,
How do
please.
they know?
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
There's little you could tell me I couldn't also tell you.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
You've advanced the plan. You shall be feted.
Oh, I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their studies uninterrupted. No one in or out. I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to. There may be more to learn here. We should keep looking. I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloistermate Anchor's Brunn has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the Laureate Council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the Order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth, who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. That they'd mentioned an old Order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden. Place by the name of Point Obviation. Oh, we're past that, I'm afraid. We need a way to keep anyone from We developed tactics at the department. Yes.
Halt! Abide! Cease any and all. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The end point?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Anchoress Brunn straight away.
We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Assuming you'll vouchsafe for your colleagues, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Anchoress Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
He seems well guarded. Let's not make any sudden moves. Unless, you know, we want to fight.
Look, everyone! It's the endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
I am a long-time vocal exponent of your work.
Doubt the Anchoress will walk away from the research lightly. May require some aggressive convincing.
Oh, who's this? Yeah. Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped me prove my argument that pacifism always presents the best options. I admit I have modified that opinion slightly since then. I understand you allowed Seer Wiley to go free, yes? Once was a time I would have made that exact same decision. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? It was more of a disputation as a scholarly objection than a manifesto per se, but why quibble? Anchoress Chow is very much against it. Her accident was quite tragic. You saw the disputation, though. Tell me, what did you think? You read it, yes? A truly unfortunate accident. I had posted my disputation and stated my intention to leave. We argued heatedly. Objects were thrown. She stumbled and fell badly. We try to honor her loss. Such tragedy only underlines the importance of our endeavors here. Each day the equation remains unsolved. Countless more tragedies occur. We must succeed at the soonest possible haste. The longer the mistakes of our presiding bishop persist, the longer calamity and sorrow will continue. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Oh, you're an admirer as well? It's one of the very things that led me to agree to lead the efforts here. I believe it's the way forward for the Order. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researchers' theories.
Really? Seer Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Yes, we're so very pleased to have her. If you thought her work before was captivating, wait until you hear the experiment she's overseeing now. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Seer Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting.
How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. Head Intercessor Delgado, what an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? Is it? Is it really?
No, it's not. You're right. I'm... sorry. I'm sorry.
You've never said that word out loud before, have you? Don't even know how to pronounce it. I guess... No, I'm still mad. Now, are you going to aid me or court ruin? The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful. So I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment.
Yes. Can we discuss how you arrived here?
I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings.
Yes, if we alter the experiment in...
The guards on the second floor won't appreciate it. It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
Indelibly eradicate algorithmic dissonance.
Got a live one.
Anyone else hear that? No? Just... I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable. Oh well.
Hard to get in a good sleep cycle. These constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural logarithms.
Something wrong back there? Hello?
It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing two preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from driver of our indelibly eradicate algorithm.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber. The experiment will then begin. Commendable effort scrambling those settings.
Did it work? Did it work? See, Bushot, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun. But she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
Marisol knows what she's doing. I vote for murder. I just love watching her work.
Seems reasonable. Appreciate you listening. Murder shouldn't be our first option here. Too many drawbacks, both mathematically and ethically.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well.
From the legend. But the there, I'll need to... I'll cut off her comms when she begins. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, hmm? Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. What? No. It couldn't. Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Really? In what way? These are all fundamental building blocks of the universe. Together, they form the primordial soup our galaxy was formed from. This is widely recognized in scientific circles. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected, an anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. I miss her skepticalness and insight. If we could agree on a topic, there could be little doubt in its logic and rectitude. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom. Why, I'm shocked. I'm certainly glad Seer Bujold isn't present to hear such a needlessly provocative and deplorable accusation. There is no call for that sort of meanness in the scientific field, and I can personally attest that it is categorically untrue. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. Really? Will I become a laughingstock among my peers? Have the whispered jeers begun already? No. No, calm down. Breathe. You've faced setbacks before. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was some variance to the input data. Not far beyond acceptable parameters, but curious. Could explain the failure. Oh, come. One bad test wouldn't mean the science is completely flawed. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Seer Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. That is an interesting thought puzzle. As humorous as it is inapplicable. I remain unswayed.
We tried. Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch.
What was that? You're starting to worry me. What do you intend to do? Ah, the experiment data. There was some variance to the input data. Oh,
Oh, let's talk later, dear.
Ah, there was some variant. Oh, Ah, the experiment. There was some variance to. Oh,
Fellow scholars of the Order, a tragic accident has occurred. During our recent experiment in Test Chamber Beta, we failed to recognize that ventilation systems had been left connected to Test Chamber Alpha. As you know, it had been recently refurbished as an enclosure for Anchoris Brun. She gave her life for science. Well, it's true that we found the related research deeply flawed, but she gave her life for the pursuit of science. As the experiment was a colossal failure, I, as senior scientist remaining, have determined we must abandon this inquiry and shut down the program immediately. Oh, such a terrible shame. Farewell!
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Anchoris Brun falls prey to an unfortunate accident right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events are unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. I don't care that you somehow roped in Bujold with that little performance. I'm not buying it. The Anchoress, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith, but I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me. Fascinating. You know, I reviewed that work myself, right? I'm well versed in manipulative prevarication from feckless mutineers. Try again. Or try facing a gauntlet of well-trained exemplars. I could always choose for you. Really? You don't say. I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Anchoris Brun fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Say, I know this was difficult and rather a mess, but you listened. You tried to do right before you did what you must. I appreciate it, the attempt. No matter how that may sound.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned, feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Well, I'm here for you, Marisol. You know, in case you need me to help sow some violence to help you feel better.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might... A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. We could have done better by Anchris Brunn. If we'd properly convinced her to abandon the research, I'd doubtlessly still lament duping her, but she'd be alive. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brun rears its head, it will need to get in line. Yes, Southworth was complicit, and now she's dead. Yes, those parts did take me back. I can wax fondly about them now that we're no longer dead set on destruction. I hope so, at least. According to Anais, we could have reduced the likelihood of that occurring by completing the brain off. It's not anywhere near zero, but it's unlikely. She seemed pleased that we at least attempted to address her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you. No. There's plenty of credit and blame to go around. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
When I first got assigned to your team, I was beside myself with excitement. Since then, you've really proven yourself every bit of the legend I hoped you would be. I've come to respect you, Commander. Not just as a leader, but as a, well, as a friend, too. I'm glad to hear it. Would have had some real grease on my face if you didn't. It was just me and Val for so long. I kind of forgot what it was like having someone else I could rely on. It's been real nice having you at my side. Not to get too maudlin, but I'm used to losing the people who mean the most to me. I just want you to know I'm not gonna let that happen this time. Don't worry. I'm not planning on jumping in front of any bullets if it can be helped. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. This can be a thankless job sometimes. Didn't want you going a day longer without knowing how much you mean to me. And to Val, too.
Standing around jawing for? There's...
Feeling like I could take on the galaxy, Commander. But don't worry, I always...
So, the Sovereign was undergoing mental refreshment. I do not believe for a moment that he truly was in need of it. And I fear he shall never be the same. I am no physician, but I understand the dire implications of what you have said. Thank you for your candor. I have no use for false hopes. The Consul shall be made to pay for his part in this. Then we shall figure out what best to do with the Sovereign.